feelings here and there, actually. My name is Esther Alariban. Welcome on Women Radio 91.7. Welcome on the Newspaper Review. The Newspaper Review is where we get to review the dailies across different Nigerian newspapers. And we have our analysts join us later as we analyze these issues and we look away forward on these issues that we get to discuss on the newspapers. You can be a part of the conversation by sending us a text or a WhatsApp message on 070-317-56537. 070-317-56537. And I have with me joining me this morning, Praise Olatubosun. Good morning, Praise. Good to have you join us this morning.
Good morning, Esther. How was your weekend?
Fine, thank you. Hope you're doing great.
I'm doing very well.
Yes, good to have you join us this morning. All right. I know probably you're itching to send us some of your messages. Yes, I know, right? Just send them. We're going to be taking your messages. Send them on 070-317-56537. 070-317-56537. Let's go by the headlines making the round this morning, and I'll be starting off with the Punch. On the Punch newspapers, Kachiku Mugalu orders Jaso for ADC presidential ticket. APC primary, Buhari meets governors, party chairman, and stakeholders. Gunmen disguised as worshippers massacre over 35 in Ondo Church. National Assembly workers begin strike over unpaid salaries. Gunmen kill 3 in Kwara and Plateau. Over to the Vanguard newspapers.
On the Vanguard newspapers this morning, our church attack. Nigeria's fast becoming failed state is what Peter Obi laments. This is coming from Peter Obi. National reconciliation panacea for Nigeria's peace, UN tells the federal government. On insecurity in the northeast, the coalition of the Chief of Army Staff pledges to re-engage competent retired military personnel. And ASU Malls concessions on main demands. And on the 2023 election, Buhari never discussed power shift to South. This is coming from the presidency. And over to the Guardian newspaper.
On the Guardian newspapers, residents flee as terrorists invade Katsina community. Power sector collapse imminent, stakeholders warn. Scores killed, others abducted as gunmen attack Ondo Church. Resign now or Atiku loses, SPDP spokesman tells Ayu. Decision day, APC backtracks on zoning as Buhari hosts party caucus. Over to the Nation newspapers.
On the Nation newspapers this morning, Buhari will hand over reformed NDDC to Niger Delta, says NCDC interim administrator. Rivers Waste Dam threatens AFDB water project. Akwa Ibom PHC, 6 functional vaccine storage facilities. National Assembly workers vow to begin indefinite strike. Consensus candidate our best option, Buhari insists. And over to this day newspaper.
On this day newspapers, finally Nigerian Air gets operating license today. Power sector collapse imminent, stakeholders warn. National Assembly staff embark on indefinite strike. Edo pledges to improve access to healthcare through telemedicine initiative. Over to the Daily Trust newspapers.
And on the Daily Trust newspaper, Khan demands punishment for Ondo Church attackers. Uncertainty, PDP holds repeat primaries in 24 Lagos rep seats. FCT minister condemns Lube lynching. Kwara CP to officers. Stop searching laptops, phones of residents. And on the Owo Church massacre, Okowa condones Akeredolu, Ondo State government. And lastly, on Pen Pushing newspaper, doctors appeal for blood donation to save lives of survivors of church attack.
Yes, these are the headlines making the round this morning across different Nigerian newspapers. Send us your comments, your contributions on 070-317-56537. 070-317-56537. On Women Radio 91.7. Yes, and the whole incident on what happened in Ondo State yesterday was a very, very sad one, very tragic. That people have to lose their lives for needless cause.
Yeah.
It is very, very sad. It is, and I commiserate with families of people who have lost somebody in the course of this attack yesterday. My heart goes out. I really hope that we're able to just get past this phase as a country in Nigeria. We have our analyst joining us this morning. Good morning, Adeyemi Adeolu. How are you doing today?
Good morning.
Yes, good morning. How are you doing today, Adeyemi? Yes, thank you for joining us this morning. And I have with me Praise Olatubosun.
Good morning, Adeyemi Adeolu.
Good morning, Grace.
It's good to
I'm
have
good.
you. I'm good. I'm doing well. What about you?
Well, I'm good, thank you.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Adeyemi. Yes, I'll be starting off with this one on the pen pushing newspapers. And this one's appeal for blood donation to save lives of survivors of Catholic Church attack. The Nigerian Medical Association of State Chapter has passionately called on residents to come forward and donate blood to help save the lives of survivors of the mass shooting that occurred yesterday at St. Francis Catholic Church, Owo Town in Ondo State. I saw a lot of comments on this one. People asking residents to come donate blood at Federal Medical Center and St. Louis Hospital yesterday, just calling for help, saying that medical personnel at this hospital were overwhelmed already because they had over 50 people who came in. Some were badly injured, some were just on the verge of losing their lives. So many things. I saw this video, very gory sight, I must say, and a lot actually be happening at the end.
Thank you, Esther.
Yes.
Actually, honestly, yesterday was Black Sunday. That's the honest truth. And looking at the incident that happened in the States. And whether we like it or not, that is a situation that is not expected in that area of the country. And if they are asking for blood donation, we really don't blame them because of the numbers of casualties, which normally you don't have at the go in every hospital, for emergencies. So as it is, we are begging all meaningful Nigerians, particularly those who reside on those states, to all go out and donate blood. So the life of these people can be saved. It is disheartening because I wonder how these crimes could take place in the first instance. And from what they said, they said these are the same people who actually carried out the killings in Kogi some time ago. And what is the security agency about this, that this have to happen in those states at this point in time? And what we should learn from this is that these people are advancing. So we must put all our security apparatus in place. We must all be alert and we must be ready to fight back. That is the honest truth. When you look from the geographical incidents, you will see that if it happens last week or so in Kogi, and this week it happened in Ondo State, definitely they are moving to Ekiti State. That's what it implies. Because the next border town after Kogi, Ondo State is Ekiti State. So that means they are coming to Ekiti State. Now every one of us should be ready. What they are doing is that they are trying to see if they can run over. And now, just few of them, about 3 vehicles invaded our world yesterday. So by the time they see that, they've had upper hand, you see them coming in troops, in their columns. That's what they want to do. But it is up to us. Like I said, sometimes ago, we were talking about incidents about insecurity. I said, you see, it now calls for everybody to be harmed, whether we like it or not. That's the honest truth. We cannot sit down and be looking. And yesterday, when the incident was ongoing, I believe that in that particular town, there will be police stations. There will be probably checkpoints in certain areas. And I know that the people of the town must have had the gunshots wherever they are while the shooting was ongoing. What were the necessary measures that those people put in place? You see, the fact is that every one of us now, we must be proactive for incidents like this. What are the measures that we ought to take in this kind of a situation? That yesterday, I believe that when the shooting was ongoing, because there is no way that I don't think you cannot use the silencer with such machine guns and all this stuff. And even the granite, whatever pump they are using, whatever sort of pump they were using, the explosion must have been heard over this side. So with all the roads that are leaving out of that town ought to have been blocked, so that these people will not just escape like they have been doing. And if there is somebody, if there are people who are giving them access and exit, then those people are also will be apprehended. So these are the things that the measures that we need to put in place now. We need to be proactive. We need to think ahead when situations like this arise. What are the things that we needed to do to arrest them there upon? Because we know definitely well that our police officers will not show them, not to talk of giving them a chase. So for us to make sure that this kind of incident does not spread, with these people, whenever such incident happen, let us as a people, as a citizen, rise up to the occasion and arrest them. Let's hinder their movement. In the course of that, they will scatter, and the population will overpower them.
Okay,
That's the only way I think we can save ourselves now.
All right, Adeyemi. So in this report here on the pen pushing newspapers, there was a part here where it states that people were unable to access those hospitals, that's the Federal Medical Center and St. Louis Hospital, because of many security checkpoints. And when I said this, I was just wondering, because of many security checkpoints, what happened to this security operatives rising up to the occasion when it was ongoing? But now, for people to access these hospitals to go donate blood to save lives, now we have many security checkpoints.
Yeah.
You see, our problem is that it is always after we have these incidents that our police
we are reactive.
Are always active. They don't prevent. What they do is that it's harassment they do after incidents, and that's what you see. That's why you will find out that it's difficult for them to transport this blood from Akure to Owo. What for? The moment is the fact that they even know that this, perhaps I know that definitely whichever vehicle that is conveying those blood must have one thing or the other written about on it that has to do with medical. And the moment these ones is being on the spot, these ones are transporting blood, actually, I believe that outside they may give this one opportunity, but what about the queue that would have been created because of this checkpoint? And whether I would like it or not, when incidents like this happen, they will take the checkpoint to know, because you will have some elements within the area who are still part of them, surveying, looking at the feelings of the reactions of the people. So that is why you see that when things like this happen, you always have our police checkpoints on the road. There is no way forward. The only thing is that in such cases, when there are emergencies, then the ambulance will put on the siren, and with that, the ambulance will be able to go through. So that should not be, we must understand that it's a measure that must be taken. There must be checkpoint immediately to see if there is any possibility to arrest either the criminals or some element that are related to them, either remotely or directly.
Okay, I have this question on that regard. If there was a shooting in a place, is that not supposed to be like a medical response team together with security protecting that? Because usually when there's an emergency, I was expecting to hear that there were going to be ambulances coming in from the FMC to the location to see if they could rescue people. There should be paramedics and all of that, because that situation was was a very tense situation. Was it that normally I would expect immediately the courts, the people should be chased. Those people who perpetrated, there should be a chase on them. There should be an immediate and quick response to that. Also, some people's lives could have been saved if there was quick medical attention. So, what do you have to say about that?
Thank you. Preparedness to situations, unforeseen situations. You see, In cases like this, like you rightly said, you're talking about the first responders. The first responders in cases like this is not only the medicals actually that ought to be around, even the fire brigade must be there, the police and every other agencies ought to be at hand, so that especially when situations like this arises. But in Nigeria, we don't tend to put things in order. Our own kind of approach is called fire brigade approach. We not be, scrambling here and there just to make sure that we are able to put some logistics into place when what we ought to have prepared that in case of any situation, and even when you're talking about like you want to say in the developed world, you have the 911 call. The moment there's a 911 call, you will see that the police responder will be there, the fire brigade will be there, the paramedics will be there, and all other agencies. They will be at the scene immediately. Be it the scene of accident or crime, homicide, anything. You will see them right there. They all move together because that line goes to all the agencies when there are incidents like that. So everybody will move all at the same time, simultaneously. They all move. In Nigeria, it is not so.
So I'm going to mention something here. Still on the same report, there's a part here that says that they are asking for urgent blood donation as well as surgical tools for the patients. And I'm wondering,
the FMC.
Well, okay. You are asking for surgical tools. When we talk about brain drain in the health sector, people just think, every single time medical practitioners are just coming out to just, like, the word has just become like an interesting thing to say, brain drain. But look at what we have. Surgical tools, really.
Yes, you see, Esther, we must not be shy away from the truth if we want to really move ahead. Let us call a spade a spade. The fact of the matter is that everything, every equipment, every medical equipment and drugs that ought to be available in our hospitals are not there. Why? Because of the corruption you and I have been talking about. That is the problem we are having. And that is the reason why we must always ask questions. We must always hold the governors and government officials accountable for their role in their offices. Now it is open to all that these facilities, the equipment are not there. Now, another thing is that are we always prepared? We are not prepared. We always do things based on the population that we feel. We assume that we always call, that we attend to in the course of the daily activities in our hospitals, in our various formations. And that is what you see that happened in this case now. Because, actually, you don't expect. It happens also overseas too. When you have an overwhelming situation like this. Because this is not the kind of, it's not a normal situation. When you have over 100 of people who are injured, who are to receive treatment at the same time, whether we like it or not, the other truth is that the equipment or the facilities will not be enough for them to be taken care of. So they will have to be calling for other equipment and facilities from other hospitals, and that is what you see now. It is a normal thing, but it should not be in the case of 100, because when we talk about the advancement, even before you can say that, you can say, okay, you're talking about over 200, 300, especially in remote counties. That is where you have a situation like this. But we're talking about cities. It's a town that is populous. You will know that all these medical facilities will be in place in numbers, not just few.
All right. Thank you so much, Adeyemi.
Okay.
It is 10 minutes to 8 on Women Radio WFM 91.7, and this is the Newspaper Review. The Newspaper Review is where we get to review the dailies across different Nigerian newspapers, and we have our analysts for the morning analyze these issues for us. And your comments are welcome. Send us your comments via text or WhatsApp message on 070-317-56537. 070-317-56537. My name is Esther Alarabi. I have with me Praise Olatubosun, and our analyst for the morning is Adeyemi Adeolu. Yes, mixed feelings here and there. I see a lot of comments on social media, and I'm just going to appeal to Nigerians. Let's try as much as possible to stay calm. Yes, it is overwhelming, but we cannot go we cannot take laws into our hands, because I see some kind of comments and I'm just wondering, that is not the solution. It is not the solution at all. We're just supposed to be talking solutions and way forward, and not trying to put or instigate one against the other. All right, Praise.
Okay, I wanted to raise a comment about the issue of having blood banks and all of that, having people the culture of going to donate blood, getting your blood screened and getting it donated. Hardly would you find someone who is going to the hospital unprovoked, saying, I want to go and keep blood in the blood bank. But then the people do that, but it's not like a popular culture. That's why we have a limited blood supply in some blood banks. So I will actually know your comments on that, the analyst. Adeyemi Adeolu.
Okay.
Yeah.
So talking about blood supply, like we all know, that people, some will go to the hospitals to donate based on country value. Because we know sometimes that they always have, okay, if you want to donate, you come in, you donate, you begin with certain amount of certain provisions. But in this case, what we have is emergency. And I think it's the responsibility of all to save the lives of our brothers and sisters, our children, our fathers, our mothers and uncles. We must be our brother's keeper in this situation. Our brother's keeper ought to be in this situation is to donate blood. And that will help and save the life of those who are still living but are injured, who are in life-threatening situation. So if we can donate this blood, and I hope that the blood donated will actually be used to treat these people, not just them collecting blood, and at the same time they're buying it to their private hospitals.
Or even selling it to the patients.
That we are doing about the corruption that is affecting everything in Nigeria.
All right, thank you, Adeyemi. Keep your text and WhatsApp messages coming in on 070-317-56537. All right, please.
There's another headline here. It's coming from the Punch newspaper. The National Assembly workers begin strike over unpaid salaries. Now, what the story is saying exactly is there was an MOU signed between the staff and the legislature and the management of the National Assembly, saying that they needed some form of reform in their salary, their allowances. And after 24 months, that was agreed for a backlog to be paid. They were paid about 16 months, leaving 8 months unpaid. So they decided that they want to embark on a strike. Now we have the issue of the legislatives' income, legislators, their income and how they earn versus what their staff earn and the conditions of work. We'll never have a situation where the legislators have a problem with their incomes and all of that. So what is this thing about not following agreement between in Nigeria? We have the FG, the federal government, and ASU discussing about an MOU that was signed years ago that hasn't been followed through. And the same thing is repeated now between the legislators and their staff. What's your comment on that, Adeyemi?
It's simple. The fact is so obvious to all. And we have been saying it. And that is exactly the same position I'm standing this morning.
Okay.
These people don't care about us. That is the truth. With the amount of the total budget of the Federal Republic of Nigeria that is being awarded to these people, and yet the staff that are suffering them and still be complaining that something is wrong with our people.
Okay.
They are all tax masters. That's the honest truth. They are good drivers. They want to put everybody in perpetual tyranny so that we will all be subjected to them. And that is exactly what they are doing, and that is exactly the way they have been acting. And the truth is that, you see, why more pineapple with staff, workers of NAS at this point in time be complaining of outstanding salaries? No, it ought not to happen. It ought not to happen. That environment that these so-called senators and House of Representatives are having, how are they treating their people with it? You see, we have been asking all the time that they need to cut down their salaries. That is the honest truth. They need to cut it down. And that is the reason why all of them, the moment they are in the house, the next thing you see them, they live like God. When you go closer to them, you see the way they talk. They talk as if they own Nigeria. Forgetting that they are there to serve us in order to legislate, in order to make laws, to govern, to give us a good country, a good livelihood as a nation. They have forgotten that. They are just there. When you look at them in the course of their preliminary section, you'll find out that most of them are sleeping. They are sleeping. All they go there is the national cake. Now, see, now the moment they leave the governorship seat, the next place they want to go is the national assembly. You can see Tamboa as a deputy.
We're going to come back to
after
that.
The senatorial has been given to a particular commissioner who won it as a primary, because Tamboa stepped down for Atiku. Now, the next place he wants to go is the Senate. And the commissioner has to step down. And also the deputy governor. So, what they are interested in is not you and I. They are interested in themselves only. Their own service interest is all that concerns them, not you and I. That is why those workers still be complaining. They want not to complain. With the amount of money that is being designated to National Assembly, no, we shouldn't be heard of them. And that is why we are going to, they need to be proved. Honestly, that section, that particular arm of government needs to be proved. That is the honest one. Because whether we like it or not, where we have to be, we are also responsible for it. Because their functions, they are not performing it optimally. They are not. If they are, the executive will have been put in check over the time, particularly in this case of insecurity. These are the same people that endorse the former service teams who perform woefully. They get their ambassadorial, they force them to become ambassadors to nations. It is to tell you how bad the situation is. These people we are talking about are failures. They are the people that allow this insecurity in Nigeria to get to this level. And yet they were able to pass through that they all become ambassadors in different countries of the world.
All right, thank you, Adeyemi, for that. Keep your text and WhatsApp messages coming in on 070-317-56537. We'd love to hear from you. We want to hear your comments on these issues. Now, Adeyemi, you raised the point with Tamboa, and I'm going to be taking this one on the This Day newspapers. And this one says, Tamboa deputy gets senatorial ticket after withdrawing from PDP presidential Guba contest. Now, the governor of Sokoto State, Aminu Tamboa, has been announced as the senatorial candidate of the People's Democratic Party for Sokoto South Senatorial District. Commissioner of Youth and Sport, Bala Bodinga. Now, by this confirmation, means that it means that Tamboa is now seeking to represent 7 local government areas in the Red Chambers come 2023. Presidential aspirants and all of that boys, it didn't work out, and what puts yourself somewhere. And I'm just wondering, what die affair. So somebody said something the other day, and somehow when I took time to think about it, it actually sounds like a thing. So this person says, when we look at Nigerian politics, some people have made it a family affair where I have to get one position or the other. If this one is not working, I have to get the other one. It should not be so. When it comes to having leaders or people in public offices, it should be a case of national interest and not personal interest or adding to your portfolio or adding to what you have done per se. And I'm just wondering to what end, because everybody some way or the other in politics is always gunning for the House of Rep or National Assembly, so that at the end of the day you can stay there for years and just be there.
The real trouble outside the fact that those people they are not interested in us, they are just after their own interest. The main problem is us, the people, as well. At the electorate. What is the criteria on which we continue to elect them to public offices? Those things that they have been able to do in the course of, especially talking about the governors, what have they been able to do to push it? The condition, the terrible condition, the other poverty that the people that are living, the insecurity that is presently ongoing in the country, what have they been able to do about it? The economic situation of the people, the educational level of the people have they been able to do about it? Yes, these people, they have failed, we all know, and it's obvious to all. When you bring out their procedures as governors, we see that all of them are failures. I hear that the same people that will go out at the election day, we go and vote for them. We are the problem. We are the problem. That's the fact. We are the problem. Until we start looking at the situation and see that these people are worthy of our votes, and we decided not to vote for them, that is where it is done on them that until they give us good governance. You see, when you talk about when you're looking at people in the United States, the social struggles in the national, in their Congress members, you'll find out that, yes, there are so many of them who have been there. But I will tell you that for years, they are actually there because of the interest of their constituency and everything that is due to the constituency. So these are the problems we are facing in Nigeria. The National Assembly, they are doing their own, and the governments are also doing the state that you govern. Everything there is down the drain. And yet, after you left government, you let us see the next thing you want to go is to go to the National House of Assembly to continue to enjoy the national cake at the expense of the citizens of the country. And the people will go out at the end of the day and vote for you, they'll be at the problem. We the voters are the problem. That's not the truth. We the voters are the problem. We want to make a change. Let's look. We need to be singing certain song. Now look, if we are saying that Mr. A is not good, we are saying that Mr. B has come to be and he has put over somebody. Then Mr. B is unpopular in another party. Let's vote for him. Let's try it. You will be able to know from the music that we sang against Mr. A and Mr. B in our two countries. Right. You know that if it's not does not do anything like I think about it's going to be voted out at the end of the day.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you. So many comments here, and I'm just wondering, Nigerians, we need to calm down. Yes, I know what has happened is very, very tragic, I must say. But yes, we need to just stay calm. All right. It is 4 minutes past 8 on your Women Radio WFM 91.7. Review is where we get to review the dailies across different to analyze them with our analyst for the morning. Our analyst for the morning is Adeyomi Adeolu. My name is Esther Larabi, and I have with me Praise Olatubosun. Keep your text and WhatsApp messages coming in on 070-317-56537. 070-317-56537. We have a message here from Anderson in Itoki, and this one says, "Good morning, WFM. Good morning to you. On insecurity in our country, the word I condemn must stop from the mouth of our leaders, especially the president. And I want to ask, why is it that our president has refused to name those who are behind terrorism in Nigeria? In this regard, the president should be held responsible for all of the unholy acts." And another question is, who is the church? Bright Initiary says, "Good morning to you at WFM. Good morning to you, Bright. I've said it before and I'm going to say it again that these people have an agenda and it's been carried out systemically. Some persons moved 180 billion naira allegedly and was arrested and now released again. That money will be used to buy more weapons to continue their laid out plans. If I may ask, how do they come in and how do they live on scene without an arrest?" All right, Rosandia Mutin Lakpere is saying, "Good morning, dear presenter. Good morning to you. The Nigerian electorate must look beyond the two major political parties and find succor in a new party that has no affiliations with any of those parties that have been in power since 1960 till date. Nay, Nigerian electorate would only vote politicians who offer them money, and the circle continues." He also says the killing sprees continue, and all the government do in most cases is to mourn the victims and promise to fish out the perpetrators, which may not happen until 2 or 5 years after the incident. Yet Nigerians will troop out in their numbers to support the two major political parties and their cohorts during campaigns and elections for money's sake. Shana like this, we go the day. Nigerians, Shina like this, we go the day. And Rosa Jamuti is asking you this morning, Shina like this, we go the day. Yeah. Engineer Wale Nikorogi is saying, "Good morning, good morning. The attack in Owo at a Catholic church yesterday is an indication that nowhere is safe in the country. Let the president continue to issue condolence message and not doing the needful. Nigerians would forget what this administration as a government has done failing to protect the lives and properties of Nigerians. God would judge those who perpetrate this crime." Olusha Gajai in Ikorodu says, "How many more people will die before we save ourselves? Decentralize the security system and let each region have its own secret service and well-equipped police. We have to act and not just sit there talking, pointing fingers, crying and waiting for condolences. Enough of this." On this particular one, Adeyemi, what are your thoughts on each region having their own kind of police? Because some conversations on the internet, people saying that the inadequacy of our security operatives has also led us to where we are currently, because when the security operatives are not up to the occasion, they don't have all that it takes, they're not bringing their A game on board. When they hear of this kind of attack, they just look at what they have and they cannot go because they are not prepared.
Okay, sometimes they also have full knowledge of the environment that they are in.
That's one.
Yeah.
No, you see, let's just get back to some example.
Okay.
Like we all been taking over the years, and it's one of the focal points to calling to the restructuring. The regional policing is of essence, is important. We must establish it whether we like it or not. You see, like the cases that happened yesterday. Now, that even certain of the members of the police or the military that are posted who are not indigenous of a particular area, when the crime is being carried out by their native members, you say that they tend to protect them one way or the other. Like this is caution that we had yesterday.
Okay.
If we have regional police and we are there within the locality, you will see that they will change those people, because it to them is going to be a slap. That how can an outsider come to your father's house, destroy and kill and escape? They won't have peace. They won't have their peace. So they will definitely get after that. That is important. That you see this matter of regional police, there's no way, there's nothing we can do about it. It must come to be. And the devolution of power from the central is of importance. is of importance. The concentration of power in the center is the problem we are having. I want to tell you sincerely, and if everybody that's hearing me will hear it out, and we attest to it. You see, I want to tell you one fact.
Okay.
I know there are some good people from the north, but there is one thing that plays out whenever any northerner is at the edge of a fear. The other northern, especially those who are not level, you need to see the way they behave all around the town. They form up, they do anyhow, believing they can do. The moment there is any little altercation, the next thing is that you see them standing up as mob to do anything because they believe they are in power, that they will save them, they will treat them, they will protect them. And that's exactly what has been playing out. That is exactly what has been playing out. That is the reason why we are saying, look, this 2023, if we allow, I'm going to say it honestly, this is the fact, and we must think about it. You see, we have to put sentiment apart.
Okay.
We are faced with reality now. We are done with reality. And the reality of the matter is that the Lord has not take the next 8 years again. That is the truth. By the time the power shifts to other zones, I tell you this witchcraft that have been destabilizing the country, that have been entering, going from one state to the other, and those who are even within the state that have been coming up believing that they have the power, that they are the one ruling, will actually stand down. They will share their sword. That is the main truth. That is what we say. God 2023, there's the power of a shift. So that we can have a balanced system. Not a particular section is dominating. Whether we like it or not, you see, the only reason why you will say, okay, let people continue to dominate is when the government and the government well, when we see the result of their government, they put to all the security of Nigeria is high. The economy is robust, everything is well, the citizens are doing well, everything is great. That is why you be able to say, okay, it doesn't matter. Let them come again. But this is the situation. Let it shift to other location. What the other people took and do. But as living start the administration of Nigeria alone to come and put in all quarter. Let's see how far we can go. That's what we are asking for. That's what we are saying. And the things. 2023.
All right. Thank
we
you.
must shift ground.
Thank you, Adeyemi.
Because what is happening is the fact that I've just told you. This class believe that they are the one in power, so they have the power to do and not do. And that is what has been playing over the years. Even when the military was there, it's only in the time of Abacha alone that it doesn't take shit from anybody. But the others protect them. And we have so many news, even in the media, even in the social media, we break the laws about people don't move out to be educated there.
All right, Adeyemi, we have some more comments here. Yes.
So the problem,
All
I
right,
don't
Adeyemi.
know how you'll be able to call somebody who has known you over the country or years, who want to be called an elder statesman, but all this thing he did was to protect and to better the interest of his section.
All right, Adeyemi, let's go over some other messages we have here.
So it's not to be in the appeal of the country in the provinces. To the country of something. And we should be honest with ourselves.
All right, Adeyemi.
We should stop this sentimental. That this thing is a plan that you and now we are facing. Daily or day in, hourly, secondly, every minute of the day. Day in, day out.
All right, Adeyemi. Yes, we have this message here from. Yes, we have this message. Yes. Hello, Adeyemi, can you hear me?
And the power will not have the answer to the problems. Then let's see. So,
All right, Adeyemi.
let's give other reason to will have the answer to our problem. That's what we're saying.
All right. Chooks in the
Even in an household, father and mother and children, they come together. There are some things that the father will do, and the child will say, Daddy, you are the head. And the daddy will even speak the opinion of the children when you want to carry them back. This is the opinion of the world. There are areas that is the one that takes the decision. There are areas that the other one that takes the decision. There are areas that the child that one that takes the decision.
All right, Adeyemi. We have some more messages here, Adeyemi. I know some issues like this tend to get under one's skin, but we just have to stay calm. Another message here is from Chooks in Ikeja, and this one says, I have two questions for Femi Adesina and Garba Shehu. When will the president rise to the occasion to become the commander-in-chief and not monarch-in-chief? And he also says, did I just hear that the so-called Air Nigeria will receive their operational license today? To me, this action just shows that we're not learning anything from our past failures. Because even in the private operated airlines, they are failing, and current government wants to flout another relevant project called Air Nigeria with the funds borrowed from China. Nigeria, now wow. And this part here where it says, these women and men at NAS honestly do not know how to debate or discuss any motion for the interest of Nigerian masses at all. All they do is when they bring any issues before them, they simply say yay and nay. I invite them to watch how motions are being debated in the US Congress, since they claim they are operating a presidential system of government module after the American presidential system of government. Another message here, this one is from Abiola in Ikeja, and he says they know the kind of money they will continue to embezzle and keep recycling now, and after their children finish schooling abroad, they also get to bring them back and position them in certain positions in politics. The police or military may not have the apparatus to enter the forest, but Amotekun and the local vigilante can go into the forest because they can find their way in and out. It is high time the Southwest governors provide more support to Amotekun so that they can comb the forest from all criminals. I remember that the Catholic prelates that was released talked about how these gunmen are planning to move down to the south. The south needs to prepare. Adeyemi. So this message here, this one from Chooks, this part that he raised, saying that all they do at the National Assembly is just go there and yay, nay. Nobody's saying anything productive. Nobody's looking for a way forward. They just sit there and want to do the same thing every day and expect different results or better results at the end.
Yes, I think it's right. Have you cut down to any message of evaluation of all the laws that have been enacted over the years in the course of this particular Senate and not from representatives? You won't find out that every of the laws that they have enacted is either to give them more power to oppress us, enrich them in certain forms. When they grant the president some things, you will see that all the money that has been granted to the president, let's ask ourselves, have we been able to feel it? Nobody has felt it. They didn't feel anything. And I know that gradually all that we didn't feel it. And now people look at the power supply. At the moment, they say all that we have 1,000 naira is something. That's what we have. A country of over 200 and something million people. With industries everywhere. So these are the problems we are talking about. The House of Assembly, what are they doing? Me. That's all. Everything needs is upward. They bring to the front, to the floor, it's all about them. But have they sat down to really look that we are faced with offer a solution? They don't have it. And I'm so surprised that even the president, House of Rep, Speaker, Senator Jamia Miller, who before that we believe that when he gets there, it's going to make a difference. They have not done anything. They have not done anything. But all the others are those. You see, until maybe the problem we are having, especially using media, and this freedom of our information, that one way or the other, they're trying to talk people down. That's why you are not able to express the feelings and the opinions of the people to be scared. Because whether you think it or not, in the United States or anywhere in the world, we people speak out. When you are not doing well, you have to speak out that you're not doing well. All experience pain. We should stop protecting what is not protectable. We should stop hiding behind one finger that does not put any part of the body. The truth must be told.
All right, thank you.
These people must hear the truth. You have not done well at all.
All right, we have a message here from Israel Gijo, and this one says, with the recent trend of killings, I think we should clap for Dikin Femi Additional for his how authentic it is. 2 weeks ago, Israel, you know you don't have to do this violence this morning, right? All right. So I'm going to skip that part, and you know why. Then he also goes ahead to say, let me tell you what is coming is greater than the evil of this past 7 years. Following trends of the... You can't say that for sure. You really cannot say that for sure.
He's just reacting to what he's seeing around.
Yes, I totally understand. I totally understand where some of these messages are coming from. But let's try as much as possible, because the message you pass to people take messages differently at DME. So you can just be in your corner talking about things and just analyzing them, and someone is already going ahead to take steps on this actions already. So we really need to be careful. We have a lot on our plate already. Tricks in Ikeja is saying that let's talk about Amotekun. Up until now, no one in Lagos State has been bold enough to tell Lagosians everything behind Lagos State not flouting their own Amotekun. But some of us know the brain behind these inactions, and we are watching keenly. Come to think about it, Adeyemi, Lagos seems is not a thing they are looking into, or are we saying in Lagos State is fine, they have everything under control? Hello, Adeyemi. Can you hear me? All right, we'll try to reconnect with Adeyemi Adeolu this morning. Yes, this point that Israel has raised this morning, looking at it, yes. Then another message here, this one from Chuk, saying that Lagos have not been able to do anything on Amotekun and what's going on, please. What do you think?
Maybe I really don't know. We don't understand why there's no Amotekun. I think Amotekun is like the regional security agency have within the southwest, and perhaps Lagos hasn't really had farmland and had a clashes. I don't know, clashes. Maybe that's the reason why they haven't bought into that idea of having the Amotekun.
Okay.
Well, let's just see if they would probably join up, or maybe they would have their own Lagos special Lagos agency. I don't know.
Well.
We already have a lot of different forms of enforcement in Lagos. A lot, actually. That would be like an extra one.
All right. Adeyemi, good to have you join us back. Adeyemi, good to have you back on. Amotekun in Lagos. I was saying that Lagos is good, security operatives are good, they have everything under control, and there's no need for Amotekun in Lagos State.
My sister, that will be the section of the highest order. That is absolutely. Let's accept that we have a new security network in Lagos. They are having Amotekun is too much. Is the honest truth. Because even the activities of the police sometimes it's questionable. That is the honest truth. I have seen where police are being protecting the Okada fight. That's the honest truth that we need to face. And Amotekun is an indigenous police outfit that is carved for the western state of Nigeria. So Lagos State is part of that western state. So if Amotekun formation is in Lagos State, what it can only do is to boost the security activities of Lagos State. So you have Amateku in Lagos, it's too much. And it's not too much. It will only help the security situation of Lagos State. Because by then, the way we expected the kind of view that we had when we were taking Amateku is actually the way we did that. I tell you, Amateku would have been the beginning of wisdom for everyone.
But you know, in Lagos, we have the neighborhood watch. Neighborhood watch in Lagos, we have that that one. So there's a message here for
neighborhood watch. Neighborhood watch. They don't carry arms now. They don't carry arms.
Maybe that's what we're looking at.
We're talking about. That they come with ammunition and all sorts of weapons. Oh, that's I don't know to wait them off. We don't be on their feet and on the way as well. By the time it's coming, who wants to die? When you don't wait for no I have somebody like only man. We should not deceive ourselves.
All right.
Never work is to watch to give security and intelligence report that okay, in this area you notice that certain elements are causing these are the activities. That's what the world wants us to be. We are not to fight any insurgent, we are not to fight anything, but to give intelligence report. That's what they ought to be. That's what the activity. But when talking about protecting, we're not talking about protecting, talking about surveillance, they can as well encounter, and they can as well fight. They are hard.
Adeyemi.
No, they cannot really have in Nigeria, but they are hard. Now, they not a matter of time, but I put that law because of that African magic.
Thank you so much, Adeyemi, for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, do have a productive week.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you too, Adeyemi, for joining us. We hope to be with you again next week.
Oh, thank you for my faith.
All right. Yes, we have another message. This one is from Innocent in Wawan. It says Tinubu Lagos would not allow Amateku. It makes his Fulani heathers feel he is loyal. Lagos, watch your back. They are now in Ondo State. This is what we call the newspaper review to a wrap this morning. Quite a conversation, praise.
Yeah, really a conversation.
Quite a conversation.
Especially on insecurity.
Yeah. Our daily activities, please be security conscious. If you see something, call out on. And let's try as much as possible to stay calm. Yes, in so many comments here and there, but please, you should feel about it, how you choose to. But above all, let's stay calm, let's be patriotic. Nigeria is our dear nation, and yes, we have to take care of it. Do have a lovely morning. My name is Esther.
My name is.
Have you been a victim of corruption? Do you want to report how corruption affects you and your community? Send an SMS or WhatsApp message to 0703 175 6537.
They keep wondering, say I'm unstoppable, how I'm unstoppable. Some try to slow me down, but I'm undraggable, I'm undraggable. It's only my do. For the moment that I'm trying to be a leader, we are getting you. I just said, no, not that. No more wahala. No more time. So we go on.
Get and stay connected to the Wi-Fi network for unlimited internet experience.